Hey, what's up everyone? This is Dyzee from the Supernaturals crew. Right about now, I'm going to give a brief explanation through this video presentation of how the official R16 judging system works. Before we start, we have to talk about what do b-boys want from judging. We want reasons for winning or losing. That means we want facts, objective facts, not just subjective opinions. We also want unbiased judges. That means we need to know what the judges are looking at. We also want a diverse panel of judges, not all the judges only looking at one thing. We also want the judges to be accountable. And we also want the audience, the general audience who doesn't know much about b-boying, to understand what we do and what's going on. So let's talk about the basic problems in judging today. Firstly, there is no certain judging criteria. That means that there's no way for us to know how they are judging. If they're judging round for round, or if they're basing it off feeling, if they're taking points, etc. Second thing we don't know is what they are looking at. We can make an educated guess upon their style and stuff, but there's no guarantee. Lastly, there's no way for us to know what are the rules. If they have rules, who's going to enforce the rules, etc. Another basic problem is that judges aren't accountable. Yeah, we can call them out and stuff like that, but that doesn't lead anywhere. That doesn't change the decision at the end or anything, right? No matter what happens, the judges can just hide behind that it's their opinion. Another problem is that b-boys today are dancing for the judges because we're just trying to satisfy the judge's opinion even though we have no idea what it could be or how it could change or if it can be consistent or anything like that. And lastly, because we don't know, the audience can't and doesn't understand. Okay? So, let's talk about how do we get what we want and at the same time rectifying the problems of the standard judging system today. Number one, we need unification. That means unification of all the views of the dance, and it's got to be made equal. Secondly, we need objectification. That means we need to make facts. It's got to be based on facts of the already standard views of the dance, and these standard views have to be agreed upon. Lastly, we need some type of thing that's transparent, and that means real time. And that would have to mean some type of display or scoreboard. Okay? So, here, this is our system. It stands for the Objective Unified Real-Time Judging System for b-boys. We propose that this system can deal with many of the things that we want and deal with many of the problems in today's current judging system. We're going to explain how. First of all, let's talk about how is this judging system unified. It is unified because all the standard views of the dance are unified together. There are different perspectives of the dance. Through this, we can make categories. There's the foundation perspective, the originality perspective, there's the dynamics perspective, the execution perspective, and the battle perspective. The good thing about this is that all the views are present. Because if there's a panel and no one's looking at one of the views, that's a bad thing. Second thing is that all the views are equal to make it fair for everybody, because no one's opinion should be or perspective should be more important than the other, right? All our perspectives together are equal. And lastly, there is one judge per view. This way we know who's looking at one and if they're doing a good job. Now I'm going to go through each of the categories to explain briefly about what it's about. Foundation is about two things. First of all, it's about the confidence. The second thing it's about is the approach to the music, with one of these three qualities in your style of dance. The first way is having complete musicality confined only to the music or to the song at hand. The second way is about going off, about being funky, usually done by footwork, being sporadic. This is like the Bronx mentality. And the last one is about having that suave and finesse, that flow, just making everything look easy as you ride the music. All three styles are dancing to the music, but in a different way. The second category is about originality. Originality is about having something individual and unique to yourself and your crew. You can have your own character, you can have your own style, you can even have your own technique or call it moves, and you can have your own concepts and ideas. There's another thing that we also call flipping, where you can just flip things around, kind of make it your own in a way. The next category is about dynamics. The thing that most people who know nothing about b-boying, it's what they can see right off the bat. Dynamics is about having high level qualities in these kind of things, like having a high level of balance, speed, strength, energy, complexity, risk of injury, something dangerous, and even flexibility. The execution category is about 4 components that you have to execute. You need to execute your confidence. You also have to execute a rhythm. You have to execute your style. That means no slipping or tripping over your own feet or stumbles. And you have to execute your technique, or shall we say moves. The battle category is about 2 things. First of all, it's about keeping your confidence. And not just any confidence, that aggressive type of confidence called swagger. And also aiming your style and your moves. But the second part of the battle category is about responding to your opponent, to their style, to their technique, to their ideas, or whatever. Showing that you can do it too and do more, or that you can take what they do and do it better. This is called outdoing and adding on. Now let's talk about how is this judging system objective? How is it not based on opinions, and how is it not subjective? Well, it is objective because there are official standards that are made of what is perfect, good, average, poor, none in each of the 5 views. These standards are agreed upon, called the agreed standards. Who agrees upon it is made by the leading b-boy officials who are pioneers, OGs, legends, and superstars in each of the 5 categories. Together, they have helped formulate and agree upon what is perfect, good, average, poor within their categories. Okay? So I'm going to go through the categories with you, the agreed standards. Here we go. If foundation is about swagger plus dancing with either A, complete musicality, B, going off with footwork, or C, that suave and finesse, then perfect equals swag plus dancing with A, B, or C throughout the entire round from beginning to end. Good would equal being confident, but not that swagger, plus dancing with A, B, or C, and notice it doesn't say throughout the entire round. Average equals having that swag, or you're dancing, but notice it doesn't say with A, B, or C. Poor equals having lost your confidence, or you're not dancing. None equals you're not confident plus you're not dancing. Okay? Now, if originality is about having your own individual character, style, technique, or concepts, then perfect would be having a distinct character and or style and or moves and or concepts throughout the entire round from beginning to end, basically only using your own stuff. Good would equal having a distinct character or style or a move or a concept, but notice it doesn't say throughout the entire round. Average equals having that character or style or a move or a concept. Poor equals just flipping or shuffling things around, and none equals all universal styles, moves, transitions, and ideas. Now, if dynamics is about having these qualities of balance, speed, strength, energy, complexity, risk, and flexibility, then perfect would mean having clear dynamic qualities throughout the entire round from beginning to end. Good equals having one or more clear dynamic qualities. Average equals only one dynamic quality, but notice it doesn't say clear. Poor equals an attempted dynamic quality. And none equals non-attempted dynamic qualities, means you didn't even try anything hard. Now, if execution is about the 4 components of confidence, rhythm, style, plus technique, then perfect equals all 4 of these components distinguishable throughout the entire round. Good equals one of the components non-attempted or indistinguishable. Average equals no mistakes, but the components are non-distinguishable. Poor equals mistakes, and none equals none of the components present. The battle category is about swagger plus response to the style, technique, or concept. So perfect would mean having that swagger plus a distinct response by either outdoing or adding on. Good equals having that swagger plus a response. But notice it doesn't say distinct. Average equals having that swagger plus outdoing your opponent without responding. Because in a battle, that should be everyone's strategy, to outdo your opponent. Poor equals having lost your swagger or having no response. And none equals having no swagger plus no response. Okay? So, let's talk about real time. Real time means that there has to be points. right? This is how points are allocated. Perfect equals 5, good equals 4, average equals 3, poor equals 2, and none equals 1. In case of a penalty, like touching or interference, you get a 0. It also means that there's a scoreboard, okay? So in this scoreboard, you are going to see the round score, what each throwdown gets every round, round by round. You're also going to see the category scores. That's who's winning each of the 5 categories. And lastly, you're going to see the majority score. The majority score determines the winner. It shows who is winning the majority of the categories. Okay? So here's an example. Let's pretend we have Rocksteady Crew versus Style Elements. Here are the categories in which they're battling over. After Rocksteady throws down their set, the judges give them a score for each of the categories. Bam. Okay? Right in here, let's pretend that Rocksteady got perfect for foundation, average for originality, good for dynamics, and so on. After Style Elements throws down their return set, the judges give them a score. They get good for foundation, perfect for originality, poor for dynamics, and so on. These are the round scores which happen after every throwdown, whether it's a routine or whatever. These tally up into the middle, which equal the category scores. Right now, Rocksteady is winning foundation, Style Elements is winning originality, Rocksteady is winning dynamics, execution is tied so it doesn't show up, and Style Elements is winning the battle category, which was in response to Rocksteady's throwdown before. Now, because Rocksteady is winning these two, they're winning 2 categories. And Style Elements is winning these 2, so they got 2 on the majority score. These scores over here determine who is the winner of the battle. But because it's tied, it goes to the combined category scores, the total score, which is 163 to 170 for Style Elements. It makes them the winner. But let's just say that in the execution category, it was won by Rocksteady by 1 point. That means Rocksteady won 3 categories, and that means they are the winner. Even though Style Elements had a higher total score, Rocksteady's still the winner. So here's some frequently asked questions. Firstly, how are routines and commandos judged? They are judged the same as solo rounds from beginning to end. How is stolen rounds judged? They don't count. The moment someone tries to steal a round, the judges won't count it. They'll only judge based on what is allowed. Okay? What are the penalties? Penalties are touching, like especially in a wrong way, disrespectfully, or interfering, getting in the way. What happens? The administrator gives a 0 in all the categories. The advantages of the system are, number 1, we get to preserve the essence. All the essences, all the perspectives of the dance is preserved. The second thing is that it allows freedom. It doesn't put b-boying into a box. It doesn't force you to have to tick boxes or do a certain steps or moves or styles. Thirdly, it represents all the views of the dance that are accounted for in the battle every time, and it's all made equal. Another thing is that it's also based on facts, by already existing standards that are made official and agreed upon. The judging system is also transparent, which helps to educate the audience, as well as building a deeper connection from the audience to the b-boys. It also makes the judges accountable because we get to see who is looking at what and to see if they're doing a good job or not. But because each judge is only looking at their one category, it's easier on the judges. Last thing is that this judging system gets to collect statistics. There are printable scores available to all the b-boys after their battles, as well as the scores can be easily uploaded to the internet. And because it collects statistics, we can have an official worldwide ranking system. Okay, so the official launch is on July 2nd and 3rd, 2011 at the R16 World Championship Finals. For more information about this judging system, to get into further details and further developments of what's happening all the way up to R16, such as who is judging what, which crews are competing, and to even get the post-battle results and scores, come to the Facebook page at www.facebook.com/R16Korea. Once again, it is www.facebook.com/R16Korea. Thanks everyone for watching this brief explanation through this video presentation of our system. This is B-Boy Dyzee from the Supernaturals crew, and I'm out.